Cerberus. Hey, what's up? All right, peace everybody. Just gonna go live talking about Cane Corsos, and let me show you the guy that most of you are here for. His name's Cerberus. He is a pure blood Cane Corso, pure bloodline going all the way back to Italy. He's a great pup. He's about a year and a half almost. I don't think he's fully grown, but he's a big boy. And I just want to make this video just to speak about Cane Corsos, because they're becoming more popular. A lot of people see us, like our family, out with our dog. People see me walking him and they love him, think he's beautiful. A lot of people want Cane Corsos, and I just want to talk about that because I think it's important for people to actually know what you're getting into when you get this type of dog. Let me see if I can get him up here next to me. Come here, son. Come here, boy. Sit. Get up here. Get up here. Don't be scared. Come on. Come on, boy. Come on. Come here. Let's see if we can get him up here. Come on. Get up here. Come on. He's like, hell no. I'm going to sit right here where I'm comfortable. Okay. So, about Cane Corsos. And if you want one, if you want them, you think they're beautiful, you like them, you're interested in them. Okay, you need to understand a couple of things, and this is really important, right? First off, you need to understand the amount of dedication it takes to actually have a Cane Corso. You don't want to get this type of dog if you're not going to commit to training them. Okay, people might feel like they could get away with not training their dog if it's a little dog, like, for example, like say it's like one of the little toy poodles or chihuahua, the types of dogs that people sometimes keep in their purse, right? Like this guy is not like that. Okay, so you see him like pulling up the grass and stuff here. He's sitting on this mulch, right? You can't have one of these guys if he's not going to be trained. So that means you have to be dedicated to actually training him, giving them the basics, and giving them the obedience training and the things that he needs so that he knows to look to you as his human, as the leader, right? So even if you're not really like an aggressive type of person, you need to be somewhat aggressive. You need to establish yourself as the alpha, right? Your dog needs to see you as the leader no matter what, right? Look at this guy over here. He loves like chewing up grass and stuff. You might need to get up out of here so he doesn't get all muddy. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on. You got it? All right. So, you cannot, and when I say cannot, people can do whatever they want, right? But you should not. It would be socially irresponsible to get this type of dog if you are not going to establish the proper, I guess you could say the proper ranking system in your house. He needs to see you, the social order. He needs to see you as the leader, right, Cerberus? Cerberus. Hey, who's the leader? Sit. Okay, so he needs to see you as the leader, no matter what, which means that you have to put in time to train him. And then also, like, we're walking, me and him are about to go into the woods. And that's another thing, right? Say you're not really active, you don't really get out that much, you don't really do any walking or running. Okay, that's going to be a problem. This guy is extremely fast. He's huge. And he's very fast, very, very fast. He loves to run. Like, he loves to run, for real. And he can cover a huge amount of ground. Like, he's really fast. So these guys love to run. They have to run. And if you're not getting out and walking them, what do you think is happening? Right? If he's got all this energy built up, he's maybe, say, in an apartment, and he's not getting out and walking. Hopefully you can still hear me. If he's not getting out and walking and running on a regular basis, say even daily, at least least 5 times a week, but ideally daily, right? If he's not getting out and doing this stuff, he's got all this energy built up. He might start chewing things up in the house, scratching stuff, scratching the wall, doing some serious damage. So you have to be dedicated to actually getting out and walking. And so that's great. Actually having a dog, especially a dog like this, is actually good for us as humans, because anything that is giving us incentive to get out and get in the sun, walk, grounding is good for our health. To get out in nature and actually walk and run, it's a great thing, right? So having them is actually good for both of us. It's good for him, good for you. But if you're not committed, if you're not going to be able to do that, obviously you shouldn't have one of these dogs. Okay? It's just the truth. So, and I'm not even knocking, like, some people may be in apartments, right? So say you're in an apartment, you want one. That's okay, but you've got to be committed to walking, getting out, walking, running, right? Because they need that time. We need that time too. So it's just another excuse to get what we need. We all need that. So that's another thing. You have to be committed to that. And then just going back to training, right? These guys, let me show you Cerberus again. See that dude? Come here. Gotta watch them too. They love to eat doo-doo. But come here, Cerberus. Come here, boy. He's so happy. He's out here in the woods. He's like, forget this camera. But we're gonna get him on here. Some footage of Cerberus. So with these guys, they have to be trained. You have to have the proper social structure set up. So the proper social structure is always going to be you as a leader. He's pulling. Cerberus, no. Cerberus, heel. Come on. Heel. Hey, no. That's another thing. He's trying to go over to the mailbox, which is all right. That doesn't bother me. You might have to pee or something. Come here. Heel. Okay. So with these guys, the proper social structure is always going to be you at the head, whoever their human is. Because hey, maybe you're like me and you have children. So in addition to listening to you, he's got to see your children as the leader as well. So you have to put the time into setting that social structure up so that he knows he's not supposed to be running the show. And actually that's good for them, because they need that leadership. They need that guidance, right? That's how dogs and canines are built anyway. Even like their ancestors were wolves. They need that leadership, right? They need to know who's running the show. So they look for that. And if you don't provide it for them, then they're going to assume that it's supposed to be them. Because that's just what they do. And that's not just like with this dog. Hey, leave him alone. Come on, keep going. Go that way. He's curious. So if you don't have that social structure set up, you've got problems, because now you've got a dog trying to lead the show, and who's not listening to you, or you may have to go to extremes to get them to listen, and it should never be like that. So you have to put and then just to keep it real. Here, sit. Okay, so he listens. He has to listen. You know why? Because his bite strength is very powerful. So pit bulls actually have a powerful bite strength. I forgot how many pounds per square inch it is, but it's enough to crush bone, and that's pit bulls. But his is even stronger than the pit bulls. So he could be very dangerous if he's not properly trained, if things are out of balance, right? And so this guy is a sweetheart. He's great. We trust him. I didn't. Sit. Come on. He just decided he wanted to get up. But he's got to listen to me no matter what. Right? And it's not just because I'm being a jerk, just want to control everything about him. No, he has to listen to me. He has to. Because what if a squirrel runs by? What if there's cars going in the street and a squirrel runs across the street? Right? No, he's not going to chase that squirrel, because he needs to listen to me. So they have to be obedient. Hey, Cerberus, sit. He wants to get up and walk because it's walk time, and he knows that. But anyway, He's got to be obedient. You got to train them. Hey, Cerberus, look at me. Look at me. Is you trying to get up? Stay. So they have to know their social structure, which is to listen to their human and to obey, abide by whatever command you're telling them, because they know that that they can trust you. You're looking out for their best interests. And so when you know that, then you don't have the problems. He's trying to get up, but he's not. But if he does, he's going to get that command again. So you have to take the time to train. And if you have to be honest with yourself. If you want a Cane Corso, if you really care, you have to take the time to be honest with yourself. Like, am I going to commit to this? This guy, who knows how long he's going to live to be? He might be 10 years old. He might live to be 12, 13. Who knows? So you're going to commit that much time to making sure they're getting their exercise, right? And also in the front end that you're training them, making sure they know to listen to you no matter what. If you can't do that, you should not get a Cane Corso. It's socially irresponsible, because this guy's good. He's well behaved. He's obedient, and he's still getting trained. Because, like I said, he's like a year and a half. There's still some things, like maturity-wise, that he needs to get. And then, I still want him to be a little bit more obedient. But he's really good. Okay, and I'm saying this because you have to commit. If you can do that, you can handle him. Cerberus. See, he sat because he knows he was supposed to be listening to me. But also, he's always in watch mode. If you look, like, I don't see anybody walking up here, but they're probably, okay, there's some kids on bikes. So he saw that before me. He heard them, and he turned around. He's like, I don't care what you're saying. I need to look this way, because why? Because he's always in guard mode, right? And that's really cool, because first off, we leave the house. He's there by himself, or he's there with our other dog. Nobody's going to be coming in the house, right? Say the children are home, and it's just them and the dogs. No problem, because he's going to watch them. Say the children are out playing, and they're walking him. No problem. He's going to be in guard mode, right? And he's not going to let anyone do anything to them. And then also, like, even though people do train dogs to guard and to potentially attack on command, you don't really have to teach him, because he does that by nature. Like, look at this guy. He's like a sentinel, right? He's like, okay, they're that way. And even though they're children and he probably knows they're not a threat, he's still gonna watch. Sit. Right? Because that's just what he does. That's what he does by nature. Sit. Alright? We're gonna sit here for a second. So that's just what he does by nature. He is a great guard dog, but also he's a good companion. And just doing research on Cane Corsos, they were bred in long time ago. So this dog breed, I think, is 2,000 years old. All right, so it's a very old dog breed. Might even be a little older than that. But they used to use them to herd animals. So it's pretty smart. They would use them around the farm, so they're workers, right? They also use them in war, right? So kind of like law enforcement, they can do that. So they're very smart dogs, and they're obedient. They listen. They want to please, and then also they're workers. So they have to get out and get that energy. So I'm just going back. I know I've said this before, but if you can't commit to walking these guys, or even running, or at least playing fetch with them. Say you don't want to run. Get him out in the field, throw the stick, let him run really far and fetch. If you can't commit to doing those types of things, man, he's a worker. He's built to work. If you see his form, he's actually like a perfect Cane Corso. You'll see some of the ones here that are like extremely bulky, really big, and that's like they've been bred to be like that. But this guy is a purebred, and he's lean, but he's also got that muscular structure and tone, right? Come here. Come this way so I can show you off, buddy. Come here. He sees that leaf coming up here. But I'm glad he stood up, though, just so you can see, they're actually supposed to have that build, right? So he's kind of lean, but he's also got the muscular structure, and he's still probably growing. I mean, I don't think he's at his full size yet, so he may get bigger. But you'll see that I'm just showing he's built like that because they're actually pretty fast. They're and they're workers. So guys like this, they have to work. They have to get out and run and play and hunt, or play, hunt, pretend hunt. They have to do these things, and if you can't get them out there in nature, you're doing a disservice to them and yourself. It may come back on you because these guys aren't getting their energy out, so they'll be in the house tearing stuff up. So, hey, how you doing? So yeah, you got to get these guys out, not just walking, but they have to run. This guy's built for speed, right? He's fat. You might maybe we could do some videos with him running, just so you can see how far this guy gets down. Like, he dusts the other dog that we have, the pit bull, and she's pretty fast too, and she's like half his size. So he gets out there and he's just like gone. So you have to run these guys and let them get their energy out and give them some work to do, right? And I just wanted to do that. I mean, this isn't going to be a real long video, but just wanted to talk just in general about the responsibility level that's required for having these types of dogs. And it's really important to understand, because if you don't take that stuff seriously, when I said you're doing it's socially irresponsible, this is a potential menace to society, right? They can crush bone, they can be ferocious. This guy is real gentle, he's cool, but when he gets amped up, ready to go, you see that there's nothing to play around with. And so you don't want to have something like that in your community that's out of control. All right. And then also, if you don't set the proper social structure, and he doesn't know, he's not supposed to be pulling. Servers, stop. You're not supposed to be pulling. But anyway, if you don't have the proper social structure set up, right, and say you have children can play rough, right, with the dogs. We've all seen it, right? Children can be a trip, really doing things to the dogs that they shouldn't be doing. But here's the thing: no matter what, your dog shouldn't even be a thought or an issue that they might attack your child, right? Because instinctively they understand, they know that this is a maybe in their mind a puppy human, right? They know that this is a child. It's not full grown, it's not a threat. They know that. And just like when they have puppies and their puppies are being a little rowdy, maybe even biting them and stuff like that, they might correct them, but they're not gonna savagely tear them apart, because they know it's not full grown. And they should see the children the same way. So that shouldn't even be an issue. But it could if you don't do the proper training. You have to put that time into it. And you don't want to have a dog like this who maybe has resentment against your child from the things they were doing to him as a puppy. And now that he's bigger, he's lashing out. This guy cannot lash out. He can't lash out, not even once. Now, I've never had an issue with him ever growling at me. Okay? Never had issues where I think he might try to bite me or anything like that. Obviously, we don't abuse him. We take good care of him. But still, sometimes I got to make him do stuff he don't want to do. Right? He might be on the couch. I don't want him on the couch. So I tell him to get down. He just does it. That's how it has to be. You can't have, people, what I was saying earlier, the small dogs. People might have chihuahuas, and the chihuahua gets up on the couch, and when they tell him to get down, he growls, gets aggressive. That's his spot. He's not moving, and they let it go. This guy cannot do that. He can't be like that at all. He has to know his place. He's not aggressive with food. A lot of dogs have food aggression. He's not. If his food's there, when I put the food down, he just sits there and waits. And even if the food's on the ground, even if there's raw meat or something there he really wants, he doesn't touch the bowl until we tell him to go and eat. And if I want to stick my hand in there and take the food out, he ain't gonna growl at me. Right? He's not gonna do anything. Sit. Come on, sit. So, yeah, say, maybe I need to get the food, right? He doesn't know. He just listens. He's real patient and calm. He doesn't growl, right? Look at me, Cerberus. Hey, look at me. You don't growl at me. He doesn't get aggressive. Even if I had to take the food for some reason, right? Doesn't matter. Even if the other dog comes around, right? He's not even growling at her. So you can't allow any of that stuff to occur, right? None of that. And so, like, I feel really comfortable with him around the children, and you know, I don't feel like he would lash out because he doesn't show any signs of aggression at all. You can't tolerate any of that. You have to really put in some work with these guys, and you can't overlook any of those things. And when people overlook stuff like that, then you hear about these terrible incidents where they turn on their owners, or they turn on the children, or a neighbor or a neighbor's child. You can't have that, right? No matter what, he's boss. He has to listen and obey, and he cannot show signs of aggression. You can't tolerate those things. If you want to be successful with a Cane Corso, you have to be willing and dedicated to put in that work. I'm not saying it's a whole lot of work, but you have to be willing and dedicated to putting at least an hour or so a day into training, right? It's not just about them not pooping in the house. It's also about, you know, everything else. Like a situation coming up right now, somebody's walking by with their dog, and it's like he's getting down, his tail not wagging, you know. Cerberus, sit, just stay. Just want him to just obey. Hi. Nope. Sit. Cerberus, sit. No. Sit. No. So I don't care what the instance is. I don't care if another person's dog barks at him. I don't care what's going on. He is not to get like all aggressive like that for no reason. And you see, like dogs, he's probably just communicating. He probably didn't even mean anything by it. That's how dogs communicate. It's not really a big deal. But still, if you say no, he's got to listen. And you have to be able to have control over them. They have to abide by you, listen to you, look to you for guidance. I didn't say bark. I didn't say attack. He has to listen. That was great. Come here, Cerberus. Come here. And so, that was actually perfect. So you see, he's barking. He's looking a little aggressive. That's probably another male dog. And regardless of that, right? When you say no, he has to stop. When you tell him to sit, he has to sit. Even if he doesn't want to. Doesn't matter. You got to listen to me, buddy. Okay? You're supposed to trust me. What he really should have done was before that dog even came, he should have looked at me and made eye contact. But he didn't do that. And I saw his little, his body language. He wasn't even making eye contact. He was just deciding for himself what he's going to do. So you have to just be willing to put in the time to learn your dog and teach them what they are supposed to and not supposed to do. And if you do that, you should be great. And you know, I don't want this video to be negative, but just keeping it real. If you're not willing to do those things, do not get a Cane Corso. Do not. And since this is the Pit Corso Republic, do not get a pit bull either. Even though they're smaller than these dogs, they still have potential to do some damage if you do not train them. So if you're not willing to commit, don't get either one of those breeds, okay? Because the Cane Corso is like a bigger version. Now, I don't believe they were trained to fight at any point in time, so they don't have the same temperament, but they could potentially be a menace if not trained properly, all right? And they actually have the potential to be great dogs because throughout the millennia while they were being bred, they were bred for various purposes. Like I said, they were bred for, of course, guarding the property, but also they were farm dogs. They were actually herders. They're workers. And people even kept them around the family. So they have great potential to be great family dogs, and that you know, feel comfortable with being at home, protecting the home, protecting the children. Great, amazing dogs. But you got to put some time into them, okay? So come here, Cerberus. We're going to say bye. Come here, Cerberus. Say bye. All right, everybody. Take care. If you're willing to do that, you will have a great dog. These are wonderful dogs. Peace.